Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 40a, top of the page with the Mishnah, starting a new chapter, Hayabotkin. I believe it is the 5th chapter of Sanhedrin, but I'm going to check real quick. Hayabotkin. Yeah, I think it's chapter 5, Sanhedrin 5. Yeah. 5th. Hayabotkin, otan b'sheva hakirot. באיזה שבוע, באיזה שנה, באיזה חודש, בכמה בחודש, באיזה יום, באיזה שעה, איזה שעה, באיזה מקום. רבי יוסי אומר באיזה יום, באיזה שעה, באיזה מקום. The Mishnah says the court would examine the witnesses in capital cases with 7 interrogations, meaning interrogatory questions, and they are, in which 7-year period, that is, in which cycle of 7 years with the Jubilee did the event occur? In which year of the sabbatical cycle did the event occur? In which month did the event occur? On which day of the month did the event occur? On which day of the week did the event occur? At which hour did the event occur? And in what place did the event occur? Rabbi Yossi says the court would examine the witnesses with only 3 interrogations. On which day did the event occur? At which hour? And in what place? Okay. מכריזן אתם אותו התרם בו העובד עבודה זרה עם את מי עבד וכמה עבד. They would also ask, do you recognize him, the man who committed the transgression? Did you warn him? They would then ask the witness about the particulars of the incident. For example, in the case of one who is accused of an accused idol worshiper, they ask the witness whom, meaning which idol did he worship, in what manner did he worship it, and so on. Kol amar bebediko sarez v'meshubach Maaseu badak ben zakai beukse te'enim. With regard to all judges who increase the number of examinations, meaning who add questions about the details of the event, this is praiseworthy, as this may clarify that the witnesses are lying. An incident occurred, and Ben Zakkai examined the witnesses by questioning them about the color and shape of the stems of figs in order to unearth a contradiction between the witnesses. Okay. Ma ben chakiros bedikos. Chakirot echad omer ani yodea edutan betela. Bedikot echad omer ani yodea ve'afilu shnayim omrim ein anu yodin edutan kayemet. אחד חקירות ואחד בדיקות בזמן שמחישין זה את זה עדותן בטלה. The Mishnah explains what is the difference between interrogations and examinations. With regard to interrogations, if one of the witnesses says, I do not know the answer, their testimony is void immediately. With regard to examinations, if one says, I do not know the answer, and even if 2 say, we do not know the answer, their testimony still stands, both with regard to interrogations and examinations. At a time when the witnesses contradict one another, their testimony is void. Echad omer b'shnayim b'chodesh ve'echad omer b'shloshim b'chodesh edutan kayemet sheze yodea be'iburo shel chodesh ve'ze eino yodea be'iburo shel chodesh. The Mishnah clarifies, if one witness says the event occurred on the 2nd of the month, and one witness says that the event occurred on the 3rd of the month, this is not regarded as a contradiction, as their testimony stands. Still, it is possible to say that this witness knows of the addition of a day to the previous month, and according to his tally, the event occurred on the 2nd of the month, and that witness does not know of the addition of a day to the previous month, and according to his tally, the event occurred on the 3rd of the month. Their testimony is not considered incongruent. Echad omer b'shlosha, ve'echad omer b'chamisha, edutam b'teila. By contrast, if this witness said the event occurred on the 3rd of the month, and one witness says the event occurred on the 5th of the month, their testimony is void, as this disparity cannot be attributed to a mere error. Therefore, their testimony is not congruent. Echad omer b'shtei shaos, ve'echad omer b'shlosh shaos, edutan kayemes. Echad omer b'shlosh, ve'echad omer b'chamesh, edutan b'teila. Similarly, if one witness says that the event occurred at 2 hours, meaning the 2nd hour of the day from sunrise, and one witness says that the event occurred at 3 hours, their testimony stands, as one could reasonably err this amount in estimating the hour of the day. By contrast, if one says that if the event occurred at 3 hours, and one says that the event occurred at 5 hours, their testimony is void. Rabbi Yehuda omer kayemes, echad omer b'chamesh, ve'echad omer b'sheva. Edutan b'teila, sheb'chamesh chama b'mizrach, v'sheva chama b'ma'arav. Yehuda says also, in this case, their testimony stands, as one could reasonably err concerning even this length of time. Yehuda adds, but if one says that the event occurred at 5 hours, and one says the event occurred at 7 hours, their testimony is void. Here the difference is recognizable to all, since at 5 hours, the sun is in the east, and at 7, the sun is in the west. And one could not err concerning this. Therefore, their testimony is not congruent. ואחר כך מכניסין את השני בו את כינוסו. אם נמצאו דבריהן מכוונים, פותחין בזכות. אמר לך בין העדים, יש לי ללמד עליו זכות. או אחד מן התלמידים יש לי ללמד עליו חובה, משתקין אותו. אמר אחד מן התלמידים, יש לי ללמד עליו זכות, מעלין אותו ומושיבין אותו ביניהם, ולא היה יורד משם כל היום כולו. The Mishnah continues, and afterward, after the court examines the first witness, they bring in the second witness and examine him. If the statements of the witnesses are found to be congruent, the court begins to deliberate the matter. They open the deliberations with an appeal to anyone who can find a reason to acquit the accused. If one of the witnesses said, I can teach a reason to acquit him, or if one of the students sitting before the judges said, I can teach a reason to deem him liable, the judges silence him, meaning both the witness and the student. The reason is that these people are not allowed to offer information such as this, but if one of the students said, I can teach a reason to acquit him, they raise him to the seat of the court and seat him among them. And he would not descend from there the entire day, but he would sit and participate in their deliberations. אם יש ממש בדבריו, שומעים לו, ואפילו הוא אומר, יש לי ללמד על עצמי זכות, שומעים לו ובלבד שיש ממש בדבריו. If the statement of that student has substance, the court listens to him, and even if the accused says, I can teach a reason, I can teach a reason to acquit me, the court listens to him and considers his statement, provided that his statement has substance. Im matzu lo zechut, pataruhu, ve'im lav, מעבירין אותו למחר ומזווגין זוגות היה ממעטין ממאכל ולא היה שותין יין כל היום ונוסין ונותנין כל הלילה ולמחרת משכימין ובאים לבית דין. And if the court found it fit to acquit him during the deliberations, as all or majority of the judges agreed to acquit him, they excused him. But if majority does not find it fit to acquit him, they delay his verdict to the following day. And they assign pairs of judges to discuss the matter with each other. They would minimize their food intake, and they would not drink wine all day, and they would deliberate all night. And the following day they would arise early and come to court and then vote again and tally the votes of the judges. המזכה אומר, אני מזכה ומזכה אני במקומי. ומחייב אומר, אני מחייב ומחייב אני במקומי. המלמד חובה מלמד זכות. אבל מלמד זכות אינו יכול לחזור וללמד חובה טעו בדבר. שני סופרי ההדיונין מזכירין אותו ומצאו לו זכות פטרוהו. ואם לאו עומדים למניין 12 מזכין ו11 מחייבין זכאי. One who yesterday was of the opinion to acquit, the defendant says, I said to acquit, and I acquit in my place, meaning I stand by my statement to acquit. And one who yesterday was of the opinion to deem him liable says, I said to deem him liable, and I deem him liable in my place. One who yesterday taught a reason to deem him liable may then teach a reason to acquit. But one who yesterday taught a reason to acquit may not then teach a reason to deem him liable if they erred in the matter, as one of the judges forgot what he said the previous day. Two judges, scribes who recorded the statements of the judges, remind him. If the court then found it fit to acquit him unanimously, they excuse him, and if not, all of the judges determine to acquit, they stand to count the vote. If 12 judges vote to acquit him, and 11 judges deem him liable, he is acquitted. 12 מחייבים ו11 מזכין, אפילו 11 מזכין ו11 מחייבים, ואחד אומר אני יודע, ואפילו 22 מזכין או מחייבים, ואחד אומר אני יודע, יוסיפו הדיונין, וכמה מוסיפין? 2 עד 71. The Mishnah continues, in a case where 12 judges deem him liable, 11 judges acquit, or even if 11 judges acquit and 11 deem him liable, and one judge says I do not know, or even if 22 judges acquit or deem him liable, and one judge says I do not know, the judge who said he does not know is disregarded, and the judges add additional judges to the court until they reach a definitive ruling. And how many judges do they add? They add pairs of 2 judges each time they do not reach a ruling until there are 71 judges, but no more than that. 36 מזכין 36 מזכין ו35 מחייבים זכאי 36 מחייבים ו35 מזכין Danin elu keneged elu. Ad shire echad min hamachayavin divrei hamizakin. At that point, the 36 judges acquit and 35 judges deem him liable, he is acquitted. If 36 judges deem him liable and 35 judges acquit, they continue to deliberate the matter of these judges against those judges until one of those who deems him liable sees the validity of the statements of those who acquit and changes his position, as the court does not condemn a defendant to death by a majority of one judge. And that's the Mishnah. Now, the Talmud says, the Gemara says, Minahani Mili. The Gemara asks, from where are these matters derived? Amar Rav Yehuda, De Amar Kra, V'darash V'chakar V'shal Dehetiv. V'omer V'hugad Lecha V'shamat V'darash Dehetiv. V'omer V'darash V'ashoftim Hetiv. The Gemara asks, from where are these matters derived? What is the source for these 7 interrogations? Rav Yehuda says, it is, as the verse states, with regard to an idolatrous city, and you shall inquire and investigate and ask diligently. Deuteronomy 13:15. And it states with regard to one who worships idols. If it be told to you, and you have heard it, and inquired diligently. Deuteronomy 17:4. And it states, with regard to conspiring witnesses, and the judges shall inquire diligently. Deuteronomy 19:18. Taken together, there are 7 interrogations alluded to in these verses by each instance of the terms inquire, investigate, and diligently.